divine guidance in this book, okay? So let's start with Mark 7th chapter, 1st through the 23rd verse. We're going to get to when where were you before you came into the Nation of Islam and was given divine guidance? Where were you when you were reading the Bible?
I was a fool, sister.
You know, were you like, and then if you sat down in Bible study, did you ever get to a conclusion with some things?
No, ma'am.
I didn't either. I was lost too. I'm so thankful not to be lost anymore. Allahu Akbar. Yes, all praises be to Allah. And you know, I have to really be careful as a teacher now to not push people away, whether you're in the church or wherever, because this is we all have to unite. We all have been in situations where we just don't know.
That's right.
But only thing I can do today is to share my testimony of what it looks like to know. What it feels like to know the truth. What good did it do in my life to know the truth about what I've read in the Bible? So, man, all praises be to Allah. There's some things, it was something revealed to me from this part of the Bible that we are going into. So I hope that you are able to get it also.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's go. Chapter 7, Mark 7. We're going to read from the first, like I said, to the 23rd. Obey God's law. When some Pharisees and some teachers of the law came from Jerusalem, they gathered around Jesus. They saw that some of Jesus' followers ate food with hands that were not clean. That is, they hadn't washed them. This is in parentheses now. I'm going to tell you when everything is in parentheses, okay? Right now in parentheses. The Pharisees and all the Jews never eat before washing their hands in the way required by their unwritten laws. And when they buy something in the market, they never eat it until they wash themselves in a special way. They also follow many other unwritten laws, such as the washing of cups, pitchers, and pots. Close parentheses.
Okay.
The Pharisees and the teachers of the law said to Jesus, "Why don't your followers obey the unwritten laws, which have been handed down to us? Why do your followers eat their food with hands that are not clean?" Jesus answered, Isaiah was right when he spoke about you hypocrites. He wrote, "These people show honor to me with words, but their hearts are far from me. Their worship of me is worthless. The things they teach are nothing but human rules." You have stopped following, and that's Isaiah 29:13. You have stopped following the commands of God, and you follow only human teachings. Then Jesus said to them, "You cleverly ignored the commands of God so you can follow your own teachings. Moses said, 'Honor your father and your mother,' and anyone who says cruel things to his father or mother must be put to death. But you say a person can tell his father or mother, 'I have something I could use to help you, but it is Corban, a gift to God.' You no longer let that person use that money for his father or his mother. By your own rules, which you teach people, you are rejecting what God said, and you do many things like that." After Jesus called the crowd to him again, he said, "Every person should listen to me and understand what I'm saying. There is nothing people put into their bodies that make them unclean. People are made unclean by the things that come out of them." This is not a parenthesis, but it's a bracket. Yeah. "Let those with ears use them and listen." Close bracket. When Jesus left the people and went into the house, his followers asked him about this story. Jesus said, "Do you still not understand? Surely you know that nothing that enters someone from the outside can make the person unclean. It does not go into the mind, but into the stomach. Then it goes out of the body. Parenthesis. When Jesus said this, he meant that no longer was any food unclean for people to eat. Close parenthesis.
Oh, okay.
And Jesus said, the things that come out of people are the things that make them unclean. All these evil things begin inside people in the mind. Evil thoughts, sexual sins, stealing, murder, adultery, greed, evil actions, lying, doing sinful things, jealousy, speaking evil of others, pride, and foolish living. All these evil things come from inside and make people unclean. Okay. So, the first thing that came to me, because haven't you heard that when we teach, this is what happens when I talk a lot about how to eat to live to people, right? What do they say? A lot of people who go to church, and you see them eating unclean things such as pork and anything else they want to eat. That they, and what do they say? Do they not say that verse? It's not what goes in a man,
What comes out?
is what comes out. Is that a common verse that's used? Don't they use that verse? I mean, they use a lot of them out the Bible, but that's a common verse that they use, and they will use that to, yes, they want to challenge the teachings of the Nation of Islam. Hold on. My uncle, who is a pastor, it wasn't that long ago, I was at his house, and I'm always teaching, if probably, uncle, your blood pressure go down, if you don't eat them ribs like that. And he's like, Jerry, you always on what you eat. Don't you know Jesus said? Jesus said. He said it. Jesus said.
Yes, right.
All things is clean. Jesus made it clean. So not only do they use the words that it say in the Bible, Jesus said, it's not what goes in a man, that defile you, what comes out. We're not saying Jesus didn't say that.
Right.
But you said, so he made all foods clean.
That's right.
And, so I'm like, okay, it say that in parentheses. When you can go to AI pulls up. I don't believe everything AI says, but it will direct you to certain things. So I went into studying what does the parenthesis in the Bible mean. Do we not need to know that? Are we just reading this Bible and we don't know what the parentheses mean? So let's give you what AI said, but AI led to the same thing that the Bible says that parentheses mean. The parentheses is they are used by translators to insert clarifying or explanatory information that is not in the original text. Thus, added text is the translator's comment. It goes into more that says it's their thought.
That's right. Come on.
So they are saying, we're going to put this thought, because this is what we think, and make this clearer for you.
Yeah, right.
So this is not Jesus' words that he made. And some of the parentheses say, so therefore thus all meats are clean. Come on, black people. Come on. We can scientifically prove that if you're eating meat, most people who favor a lot of meat have high blood pressure.
That's right.
When the black man, we can prove that meat has a natural amount of sodium without adding sodium that goes over the level, and black people can't go over 1,500 milligrams of sodium, but a Caucasian person is 2,000. Why is it a 500 milligram difference with no high blood pressure, no anything, just your biological makeup? So you mean to tell me that the Jesus we serve, the Jesus said, our meat is clean, but it's killing us?
Wow. That's
Do you? No. You know, that just doesn't seem right to me. So I said, let's go into this a little more. Let's study this. Why, we read the Bible. Oh, y'all don't believe? Yes, we do believe in the Bible, but we believe in one that got taught.
That's right.
The Bible to lead us, to guide us, because the Bible tells you how would they know unless they have a teacher. And how will they have a teacher unless he be sent? And we believe he was sent. So our praises be to Allah. How important is that to know that ain't for us? That ain't for us. That's not what that means. That's in parentheses. That's somebody who translated this Bible for a people, but it ain't for us. Because the meat didn't get made clean for us. So I guess they saying the pork, everything, the meat got made clean. All the meat make us sick. The beef, the pork, the turkey, the dirty chicken, all of it make us sick, right? So, yes, all of it. So what was made clean for us?
Come on now.
Yes. But God. But God came, right? But God. We got this Holy Quran. And the Holy Quran, I'm taught, was to bring truth.
That's right.
Come on.
To this, right?
That's right. That's right.
Oh my goodness. How thankful can we that is such a blessing. I sat with some sisters and I said, sisters, how many of you can agree on anything? Even if we brought that up in Bible study. Well, you're going to have 4 people, and each of them will have a different opinion, a different way to do that. But God came and rose a nation. And I'm not saying the nation of Islam is perfect, but boy, are we striving to be. You can put 4 or 5 sisters in the nation of Islam and ask them a question, and it's not all over the place. We will have more of a common answer with our questions because we agree. But that comes from being taught, divine teaching that he can bring us together and begin to remove those wrinkles, right? Remove those spots. What he came to do, to make us perfect. So, in the Holy Quran, I would like to just go to me, the explanation of this needing to be clear and how it came to us in the nation of Islam. So, we're in Surah 3, verse 48, the family of Imran.
Okay.
And he will teach him the book and the wisdom
Right.
and the Torah
Right.
and the gospel.
Right.
Torah and the gospel. He will teach him, right?
Right.
The book,
That's right.
and make him a messenger to the children of Israel, saying, I have come to you with a sign from your Lord, that I determined from you out of dust the form of a bird. Then I breathe into it, and it becomes a bird with Allah's permission. And I heal the blind and the lepers, and bring the dead to life with Allah's permission. And I inform you of what you should eat and what you should store in your houses. Surely there is a sign in this for you if you are believers. There's a sign in this. Once you are guided through this teaching, you understand the signs. We find us in the Quran. You can find our situation in the Bible because you've been guided. Right. Minister, how many times have Minister Farrakhan and Minister Rapp pointed us to these verses, right? Can't you see yourself in them? Haven't you been taught that you are now the children of Israel? That this is Israel. That's right. Have you been healed of being blind?
Yes.
You don't eat unclean things.
No, right.
You ate them when you was what?
Dead.
Man, when you was dead, when you was blind, but you got a teaching that's resurrected you from the dead. So, we just have to be reminded of these things as we are teaching and getting people here to the Nation of Islam, which is just our job, right? Helping to resurrect the dead. We have to be reminded that we got this. We got these beautiful, beautiful teachings. So, we, the black people of America and descendants of slaves, were and still are denied freedom, justice, and equality. But God visited us in 1930s in the person of a man named Master Fard Muhammad. And this man found the right man, Elijah, and gave him the key to our salvation. Elijah and God would make one who stood the test of time, the Jesus in our midst, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan.
Yes.
All you have to do is stop what you are doing, look at what he is doing, listen to what he is saying. There was a song that we used to sing in church called Stop, Look, and Listen to the voice of Jesus saying. And if you do that with Minister Farrakhan,
Right.
if you in a spooky place and you stop looking and listening for something over here, most likely you're not going to get no real change in your life. But if you stop, look, and listen to the voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, no matter what you're going through in your life, you're going to have a change in your life. Yes, something will change. All you have to do is follow and obey the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad given to him from God. And the minister, he's dedicated his life to rebuilding the nation and giving us these teachings again. So you will have the power to withstand Satan and this wicked world of temptation.
That's right.
So in church, I know I always go back because I grew up in church. All praises be to Allah. We all did. You remember the old folks, they would say, but God.
That's right.
And they would normally say that behind a statement of faith, but God. You know what I mean? That's how they said it, right? But God. So today, that came to me because I was like, but God came. I just kept thinking, but God came. So I say the same thing, but my testimony today is saying, but God, following what I used to do. And now that I know God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, I no longer do.
Right. Teach.
I dressed with seductive intentions, but God.
Come on.
I ate food whenever I wanted to, but God.
Come on.
The television was my guiding light, but God.
Go ahead.
I ate unclean foods. Because it said, it's all clean. All the meats in parentheses done been clean, right? But God. Let my emotions overwhelm me. But God. So God intervened in the lives of us, the despised, the underrepresented people, the descendants of slaves, the abused, and the confused. I think that's abuse. Giving us this Bible and like the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this Bible can be a poison book.
That's right.
Too much Tylenol will kill you, right? If you ain't got no guide to go through this Bible, boy, you get poisoned. You sit up there eating pork because this Bible. Ain't that terrible? I had so many people that tell me, I know why my head's spinning. You know how many people I can count? I know why my head's spinning because I ate them pork chops. But then you eat them again next week. You know why your head's spinning because you ate them pork chops. The enemy is, here go your blood pressure pills. We got a new one too. We got the calcium channel blocker ones that's gonna swell your feet and legs up. But this one will get you down to 120 over 80. But God, follow the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and get your blood pressure. I went and got mine checked last week. 110 over 80. That's following the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And all we got to do is do that. So this is my testimony of but God, right? It was a song, I could have been dead, sleeping in my grave, waiting for Jesus to come back again. But I thank you, Master, for one more time, praising his name one more time. You know, some people look at those lyrics like that. Well, I used to look at it like, oh yeah, one day I done woke up again today, I'm alive, and we all together at church and we singing this song. But when you really understand what that means, when you really have begun to be resurrected from the grave, from that dead state, from that lack of knowledge of what to even put in your mouth. Oh my God. Thank you, Master, for one more chance, because I could have been dead. And I ain't even talking about and that one too, with the two, you know, y'all coming to this funeral, that one too, but I could have still been dead.
That's right, sister.
You know, just eating anything, anytime I want to. Oh, let me put this in my mouth. You know, it's crazy. It's a mental problem. But you know what I mean? And God came to remove that mental problem from us. Let's put you on another level. Let's take you back to where you came from. You wasn't like that. You've been hit over the head and following this enemy to think you're supposed to eat all times a day and do things, and it's making you sick. You are the leader in death. You are the leader in heart disease. You are the leader in diabetes. Not them. There's no way it should be 1 out of every 2 black women will have type 2 diabetes, but what are they? 1 out of white women is 16, 10, or whatever. What? That don't even make sense. Don't make sense at all.
That's right.
And it's because, and we don't eat much different than them. No. It's because we have to eat totally different than them.
That's right.
We are different than them, and God came to tell us that. So, but God. What a God we serve. So, you know, the biggest, we had to be taught the knowledge of ourselves.
That's right, sister.
And we have to. If we don't have the knowledge of ourselves, then we continue to fall. Oh, we the same as y'all. You know, we all bleed the same. You know, when y'all people in the Nation of Islam, I would join y'all, but y'all don't like white people. No, we can like them a little more once we know who we are, because I really did. Yes, I can deal with the white man a little better today than I could years ago when I didn't know myself. I was, yes, so, you know, God came and gave us knowledge of self. He told us who is the original man.
That's right.
The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe.
Yes, ma'am.
That rises you up out of that mindset that you are beneath these people. Because if you believe that you beneath somebody, then you're going to steadily fall for the okie doke.
That's right.
You're going to steadily do what this enemy is doing. But when you get knowledge of self, you can look at them like, yeah, you can eat that, but I can't because I'm a God. I can't eat that because my crab rise to the top. Yes. Yes. So all praises be to Allah. What a God we serve. You know, one of the sisters, she said, a very close friend of mine. We talked again last week. We talk on the phone all the time. She said, and she's a sister you asked about, Minister Raff, and you, Sister Pam. She said, y'all, only thing I don't like about y'all, she didn't say it like that, but she kind of like, that's parenthesis. Only thing I don't like about y'all, that's parenthesis. That's my translation. And then I'm going to use that from now on in my writing. There go parenthesis. But what she did say was exactly, and I quote, "You all worship Farrakhan."
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, so you don't want to have nothing to do with us because we worship Farrakhan. And you worship Jesus. Who taught you Jesus?
Well,
Who is that?
That's right.
Oh, but he's Jesus. Who taught you that? So is there something wrong? We know that Jesus means one who came to save. Well, when I heard Minister Farrakhan, I got saved. You know, I'm saved. I went to the doctor, and the doctor talks to me, and he's like, "Oh, well, I ain't got to tell you nothing to do." I said, "Yeah, you're right, you don't." I said, "I knew I was going to have the pre-diabetic number because I started back drinking them coffees that was sweet for 4 months, and I gained 10 pounds.
That's right.
But it's already going back to, and I'm not going to do that no more. This is my God showing me, you know what I mean, saving my life through how to eat to live." So when you listen to the minister always dropping, you know, some things about how to eat to live to let us know that he'll tell us, believers, y'all better get more discipline.
right.
What we get, you know, we believe. So why are we doing stuff against how to eat to live and we believe? So I already know. How do I expect every number to be just perfect when I'm not doing how to eat to live perfectly? But one thing about it is the numbers were good enough because I've been saved. Eating 1 time a day at least, you know what I mean? Striving, not eating these poison meat and things. I'm striving to do what How to Eat to Live says. But there are some things, you know, still challenged with, but we know. So we know we know that narrow path. And it's a narrow path. Believers, we have to follow that narrow path because we got so many to show this over here wide. Even in the Nation of Islam. Isn't that right? Even in the Nation of Islam, there are, you should be thinking, oh, it's important. What if each one of us said, I got to walk this narrow path? Because if I don't, Captain Abel over there might think it's okay to go to Starbucks tomorrow and get one of those, what's that thing called? Caramel Ribbon Crunch. He may think it's okay to go get the Caramel Ribbon Crunch and get and they got an extra large one for the same price as the small one. I ain't saying they do. Look, y'all gonna be like, they do. But you know, they be advertising that. So, you know, it was a thing that we talked about last night. We went to a birthday party, and I have to be real careful because I don't want to lose my sisters. I deal with a lot of sisters that are not like me. You know what I mean? They like I used to be, but God, right? I used to do that seductive dress, but God. So you can't forget where you came from. But you know, I have sisters, they still in that way. You know, so the sister, beautiful sister, is over, you know, really into the church, really spiritual, you know, teach Sunday school, teach things. And, you know, her dress for her party, I wouldn't wear that. I'm in the Nation of Islam. I have a way to be, you know, pretty dress, you know, but all the arms out, the split way up to the hip. And several people, you know, that's a virtuous woman. And I really think the inside of this sister is virtuous. I don't think, and I'm not judging the way she dressed. The point I'm trying to make is, if you don't walk a narrow path, even in something like that, your dress, although you are this good sister inside, and you're not going to probably go sleep with somebody's husband when you leave. You're not studying doing that. But you got this other sister over here. And she looking at you. See, I knew wasn't nothing wrong with that splitting that dress I had on. And she got a little more looseness to her, right? So, because we're not doing that narrow path, we can keep others from coming. Does that make sense? Yes, because we all must unite. We all must build this kingdom right here together, whether you're in a church, no matter a mosque, wherever you are. But that is, to me, that was an explanation to another sister who questioned me about it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That about that narrow path and what it can do, although we feel in some way, and with us, so we may dress the part, but then we ain't walking the narrow path eating the part. So we got sisters who may be new in the nation, right? And they battling with how to eat to live already, because this enemy got all this stuff thrown at us. We may go to the store and pick up something out of there and it say palm oil, soybean oil. Well, I'm sure they don't know that how to eat to live say stay away from palm oil. We kind of know soybean oil, right? But do you remember that how to eat to live say don't eat no palm oil, Sister Kiva? Huh? Yeah. Yes. So palm oil, you may go pick it up in your favorite candy bar. How many people go ahead on and eat that? Even they ain't even that hungry, but they eat it. So if we don't walk that narrow path, the ones that know, the believers, how are we gonna help the ones who don't know, who over here? So we must walk that narrow path. But what a God we got that gave us the narrow path. We know that the path is narrow to the kingdom of God. So yes. So I find myself after being questioned about everything from my attire to my saying assalamu alaikum, to my prayer routines, to the foods I eat, saying to other people, hold on, you must remember though, I believe that God came. I find myself in conversations like that. I don't know about you. And I guess, so you see, while some are looking for a map on Google to get to that land of milk and honey, we are blessed to not only believe, but experience what happens when you follow Minister Farrakhan, who gives us the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And if I could, I don't know if that, so I find myself always remember, I believe that God came, because that's knowledge that we have to understand how to translate that to others.
That's right.
I believe that God came, and it comes up in my conversation, because if you believe that God came, then you don't eat certain things.
That's right.
You don't do certain things. If you still waiting for him to come to tell you when you can, okay, now he came, so I'm put on some clothes. Now he came, so I'm going to stop cussing everybody.
Right.
Using profanity.
Yes, ma'am.
I was reading Minister Ava's book, Weapons of Self-Destruction. I read it from cover to cover 2 days ago, right? And she was talking about how we must stop using profanity in anything. We must be careful of the words that we use, because when you stop that and you elevate your words that come out of your, because you have to stop it, you think before you even say things. So that means you got to elevate your thoughts, right? So that means, and so you then are able to connect with God by not using profanity, and using certain words. So, we're taught by Minister Ava. We're taught by Minister Raff, right? We're taught by Sister Jerri. All these teachings is from divine guidance of Minister Farrakhan today.
That's right.
So your life changes. It's more than accepting. It's accepting that God came to us. So you can accept that, well, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, but it's more than that. You got to accept that God came to us, the black man and woman of America, because when you accept that, you have guidance through this Bible and not get caught up in that verse. It's many other verses. We could go on and on, Allahu Akbar, but we would be here for what, hours if we go pull up everything that we needed to be guided through to keep, to get that poison, toxins out, right, of us. So we have been set apart, brothers and sisters. If you know that God came to you, you will know why you have to dress differently, eat differently, talk differently, because we've been set apart. I heard a Caucasian man preach one day, and I can't for the life of me find it again, but it was just meant for me to hear it because it never left. And he said, y'all don't even know who these black people are in America. He said this. He said it will come a time where you will know who they are as saints of God from their attire. He said this man preached about this. That's us.
Right.
So we've been set apart, and it's easy to recognize when the saints go marching in. It's easy.
That's right.
We're the chosen ones. We're the ones chosen to show the whole world who is God. It was a big compliment that the Nation of Islam was given by a sister. She said, I've never saw anyone in the Nation of Islam, that's what she said, do things that I see other people who say they are Christian or believe in this do. She said, or just say they're Muslim. Oh no, I'm one of them. She said, this man told her, I'm one of them something with an A. No, a Muslim. He said he was a Muslim. He didn't say right. It was something with an A though. And she said, he do all kind of stuff. She's like, oh no. She said, I got a friend that's a Muslim in the Nation of Islam, and I just never saw them do any of those things. So that's a blessing, to the Nation of Islam. And I haven't either. So, yes. So yes, we as black women, I talked about that, the statistics, we lead in diabetes, but God. It says one or two of us will have diabetes, but God.
That's right.
I've been in the pre-diabetic range since probably 30s. Maybe my 30s. I remember I just ignored it though. Heck, I just go do what I'm doing. But I did study recently when I did a class called Built Different, that black women biological makeup have low insulin sensitivity, meaning that we would be more common anyway to have pre-diabetes.
Okay.
But do we really have pre-diabetes? You get me? Because our numbers are not going to be the same as a Caucasian woman. That's not to tell us go eat everything because we really don't got it. But it is comfort to know that maybe that's why the numbers are up so high, is because having the pre-diabetic number may just not be pre-diabetic. But what I think of Allah, for all praise be to Allah, it could be the diabetes number.
That's right.
But it's not, because of eating one time a day.
Right.
You get me? And I know there's still work that I got to do, so I plan on just moving it out of that range anyway, right? Even if that's not really our range, let's go on out that range, okay? Because it's a narrow path. And how can I help the next sister if I don't walk the path? Leave that Starbucks alone.
That's right.
So God gave us a plan. And it made the doctor bear witness. When I sit there with that doctor, he's like, oh, yes, I've tried the fasting now. Used to, you talk to some doctors and stuff about fasting. They like, what? You better eat 3 times a day. That's why you're going to have that. Now, the people with diabetes eat 3 times a day. You know, they still got diabetes and on metformin and all this stuff, eating 3 times a day. But eating 1 time a day, I don't take any metformin, and I don't have diabetes. All praises be to Allah, right? So God gave us a plan that we don't have to take, metformin. So all we have to do is follow this divine dietary law.
Right.
Know that God came and follow the law.
That's right.
If you know that God came, it's not that hard, to follow the law that he gave us. He would come to inform us of what you should eat, right? And what you should store in your houses.
That's right.
We're taught, can your navy beans, put them up. Isn't that what we're taught? We are the navy bean people, right? Who else? I don't know. Do y'all know anybody else that has, what are y'all storing up? They may have this or that, but we don't know it. We know that the Nation of Islam do the navy beans, right? The brother was teaching last week. We know from the final cause and the navy bean pie, right?
Right.
So, I want to talk, as I conclude about this, how this AI, I was learning about this artificial intelligence and how we use it so much. Did y'all know that there's radiation problems from this AI? That the enemy is really greedy and he wants it to move faster and faster. So I have a class that I take in getting my master's that's all about AI. And so they sent us to a video of these people, and I heard it's happening in Memphis. Elon Musk is trying to put another one of the plants, the AI plants in Memphis. But it was some people who was talking about it in their town, and they were saying they can't sleep. It does certain things, to the people are getting sick. It's causing radiation.
Yes, ma'am.
And this enemy don't care. Don't care at all. But God gave us the navy bean.
That's right.
Why is the navy bean named the navy bean? Do you know that? Why is it named the navy bean? Why? Yeah, but why is it named the navy bean?
Because the Navy soldiers were using.
Yes, for the radiation from the war. Yes, that bean, that lagoon was given the name, the navy bean, from the Navy.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
because of the radiation. So they were feeding on this navy bean. Now, this is in parentheses, a theory of mine when I was watching, what's that movie? The Nation, one of the brothers in the Nation of Islam, I think it was Dr. Wesley Muhammad, told us to go watch Oppenheimer. He told us to go watch that movie years ago. And I went and I watched that movie, and I kind of was doing some research on that movie, and I was looking at the years, and then he was talking about how Master Fard Muhammad let a baby plane crash so that they could study it.
Right.
And they only did a little bit in it where you can know that this different timing of stuff, how the baby plane had to be there to study, and then they was eating the Navy bean. Two, I say that the people on there was eating the Navy bean. Do we think that, we study the Navy bean and we say, oh, it got the name, the Navy bean. We know that Master Fard Muhammad came in the 1930s and started teaching us, this is the bean for you all to eat.
Right.
But when was it, you know what I mean? When did they name it the Navy bean? So I was trying to look back to that. And when you were looking at the war, and stuff, those years kind of to me Seems like they could have been studying and saying, wow, look at their bodies, and they didn't mess up from the radiation. We getting burnt. Because they do talk about that things were happening to their skin. Things was happening. So if they went and they were studying, hold on, these people, it's so, what? And then they got the Navy beam. That's in parentheses. Close parentheses, that's my theory. But we know that God gave it to us because it would protect us at this time, right?
That's right.
It is our staple.
That's right.
No matter what, you done had some Navy bean soup, whether it was last week. Sometimes you've had some in you. You ain't like people who ain't had none that's saying, I eat Navy beans. I ate some last Christmas. You know what I mean? Like a bean pie. I ate some. Yes, we eat it. We get this in our body, right?
That Navy bean.
Yes, yes. So there is power in the Navy bean. There is power in the name of Muhammad. You know, they say there's power in the name of Jesus. There's power in this name. There's power in what we're given. So if it was some people here that need to join the Nation of Islam, I would say, come home. This is your home.
That's right.
You coming back to yourself. Get a new name. Get a new body. Get a new mind. We've been led into having though being new because God has visited. God has visited the mental, the physical, and the spiritual disparities of the black man and woman of America.